Hello and welcome to the great outdoors. We're here at Chalkney Woods today. The day is Friday. It's late Friday afternoon, about 5:30. I've just literally finished work and driven straight down here from work. It's been somewhere that we've been meaning to come for quite a long while, especially Kelly. She's been really itching to get out here. It's quite a reasonably large woods. As you can see, I'll just bring you over here. Part of the woods is owned by the Forestry Commission and the other part is owned by and run by the Essex County Council. Our plan for today, to be honest, is we're going to have a little walk. We're going to then sort of set up and cook some burgers, have something to eat, and then we're going to come back to the car, grab our camping stuff, and make our way deep into the woods and find somewhere to do a wild camp, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, we're quite close to the road at the moment. The car's just parked just over there and there's the road, but there is like a little area here where you can park up at the side of the road, so the car should be safe. I mean, we're in the middle of nowhere generally. There's not an awful lot around. There's a couple of farms, things like that, but yeah, well, I'll bring you back in a little bit when we start our little bit of a walk into the woods. As you can also see, this is a bluebell wood. There are generally, from my understanding, a lot of bluebells, and quite surprisingly there are still remnants of the bluebells here now, as you can see. And from my understanding, this area gets quite covered in them as well. So also, if we obviously do get to do the wild camp we're planning to do today, we're going to have to be very careful on where we camp, not to, you know, damage any of the remnants that are left of the bluebells. At the moment we are in the Essex County Council part of the wood. I think we'll sort of be heading possibly to camp further over into the Forestry Commission part, I would imagine, because that puts us off of the road more. Not that the road here is a particularly main road, to be fair, but it is a road nonetheless, and obviously, you know, we want to be stealthy and as far away from the road as possible, because obviously where we are parked, you know, if anyone was to drive by, you know, late this evening, they'd probably have a good idea that what we were doing is possibly camping in here, and they might come in to try and find you. You never know, so just got to be quite careful. Anyway, bring you back in a bit. Welcome back. Not that it's taken us very long to get here, but this main track that you can see behind me there, and obviously there, is the track that splits the Forestry Commission part of the forest, or woods, which is there, and obviously the council based part, which is there. And welcome back. Just set up here for a bit to cook some burgers. We'll be trying out a new little stove, to be honest. It's very similar to the little Lixada one that was bought for Kelly. Officially, it was supposed to be a BRS stove. It was ordered off of AliExpress after a particular YouTuber had posted a link regarding it being very cheap. I think it worked out about £4 including postage. And admittedly, in the advertisement, it did describe it as a BRS stove. All the information above suggested that it was a proper BRS stove, but it's not. It most definitely isn't. We have used it. We used it last time we were out when we did the Langdon Hills little walk and that. We used it then. It boils water really quick. It is quite a powerful little stove, in all honesty, and it does seem to be working all right on this. But yeah, I mean, it most definitely isn't a proper official BRS stove. It's unbranded, but it does the job. It's very small, very light. Yeah, but well, we've just cooked our first lot of burgers, as you can see. Kelly's done that, and it's cooked them quick, isn't it? Yeah, so it looks like it does the job it's supposed to. It cooks the food. So I'm going to tuck into our burgers and I'll bring you back in a bit. Hello and welcome back. Yeah, we've just eaten our burgers and they were very nice. The stove did its job. It's very direct heat. I mean, it fires it right at the bottom, so you have to keep the food moving to make sure that it doesn't burn, to be fair. But to be honest, with any of them types of little stove, there is quite a direct heat. The saucepan we've got, one of the Outkit ones, they do distribute the heat a little bit better than these sort of like titanium frying pans generally, because we had one of them and it didn't go well. But the food was nice, it was cooked well. Kelly done a good job. We've just packed everything away, all the cooking stuff and that. We're just having a drink now. I've had a little wander around this area, and just over there I think I found a fairly good spot for us to set up. I think we're going to make a little bit more of a stroll maybe, and then make our way back to the car to get our stuff, and then probably make our way to maybe the area over there, unless we see something else on our travels. And obviously we won't be setting up right now because it's still quite light. It's only my watch has run out of batteries.
7:20.
It's only 7:20. It doesn't really get dark till sort of start to get dark till about 9 really properly. So I mean, I haven't seen or heard anyone around here at the moment, but you know, still nonetheless we're better off leaving it as late as we can to set up. We don't want to set up too early. Anyway, I'll bring you back in a little while.
Yeah, I just said forest school or something.
Right, well, this is where we reckon we've picked for our wild camp this evening. Fairly flat area, a bit of grass. It looks like at points this area, to be honest, could be quite wet, to be honest. It looks like there's also a creek that used to run right through here, I would suggest, over in this sort of area here, according to the map. But touch wood, there's no rain due for today or tomorrow at all. So I think this area will be more than adequate. It's quite flat, as you can see. There is a lot of down wood around in areas, but we have checked out the trees. There doesn't seem to be any widow makers up here. Nothing seems to be loose. It's not supposed to be windy. As you can see, the trees are barely moving. It's not windy at all now, and it's not supposed to get windy either. So I don't think we're going to have too much of a problem here. And we're well away from the paths. I mean, we're literally smack bang in the middle of the paths. There are paths that run the whole way around us, but we're as far into the middle as we possibly could be, so we're as far off the path as possible. Plus, probably the closest path is just over behind Kelly there, and we are in a little bit of a dip, so that'll hide you a little bit away. And being the fact that it's now June, the beginning of June, as you can see, there's quite a lot of foliage on the trees now, so that helps, because obviously a bit earlier on, like a month ago, a lot of this foliage wouldn't be here, so it'd be a lot easier to spot you. So weather's supposed to be fairly reasonable tonight. It's not supposed to be too cold. I'm sure Kelly will have her softy trousers on and a coat and a woolly hat, gloves. Yeah. But you know, she'll have that in the summer. Anyway, we'll bring you back in a bit.
I'm going to break my back, you might as well have a record of it. Oh yeah, it works alright. Nice view, isn't it? Nice view, isn't it? Nice view, isn't it?
Hello and welcome back. We're here at our wild camp spot, the one we originally showed you. We didn't have any change of heart on our way back or find anywhere different or anything like that. Kelly's just cleared off the area where we're going to put the tent. We've decided to go just over there where the green grass, it'll give it a little bit more sponginess under the tent, and she's cleared all the twigs and that around it. It does seem generally quite flat, to be fair. As you can see, Kelly's already got her softy trousers on and her coat.
Yeah, it was already cold.
Yeah, she's already got cold. It's a bit chilly. As you can see, the sun's gone down now. It's going to start to get dark now, so we're going to crack on. We're getting the tent up. I think we've left it long enough. It's now just gone 9. It's 9:10 now, so I feel that it's late enough now. As I say, we are quite off the beaten path, so hopefully people won't be able to see us. Unfortunately, when we were getting our bags out of the car, someone did pull up to go for a walk by the looks of it. But you know, we are quite away from the actual car park that we parked in. We've not parked in the car park for this part of the forest. We've parked in the car park for the other part. So if anyone spots our car, hopefully they'll, you know, if they want to look for us, they're only looking that area, won't come this far over. Okay, well, I'll bring you back in a bit once we've got all the tent up. Hello and welcome back. Well, as you can see by the time lapse that we had there, we've now got the tent up. We've used a couple of new things. You would have seen in that video we were using the tiny flex tail pump. It's the first time we've used that. It's also a light. We've tried to cut down on weight and size, because as you would have seen in possibly other videos, you would have seen that we had a pump, but I mean, it wasn't big. It was smaller than a standard Coke can, but it was bigger and heavier than that flex tail. That's really ridiculously small. And on top of that, the old pump, we would have carried around a little OEX lantern, which, don't get me wrong, is a brilliant, really good lantern. But again, size-wise, it's a reasonable size and of a reasonable weight. Whereas, as you saw with that little flex tail, that's the pump both of the beds up really quickly, like stupidly quickly, quicker than the other pump, and it's also a really good powerful light, and supposedly got quite a decent battery life on it. How good the battery life is, I don't know. This is the first time we've used it, but we'll let you know if it lasts a whole camp. I believe it will. And also, you would have just seen us using Kelly's new twig stove. She's had this since her birthday last year, which was in August, so you know, she's had it for a long while and never actually got to use it. So we thought we'd bring it along, but as you saw, despite the fact we are in a wooded area, and generally we wouldn't have a fire in a wooded area because you're surrounded by woods, you know, there's a lot of things that could catch fire, and also, you know, it draws more attention to if you've got a fire. But you know, you saw what we did. We dug down to the dirt. You know, we've dug a little bit of an area, and you'll also see that there is a bottle of water right next to it, just in case as well. It's only going to be a little fire, and I doubt we're going to have it on for too long. I mean, there's plenty of dead standing wood around here, so we haven't taken any from any of the trees or anything like that. We're just using what's here. We've got a little stack here. I doubt we'll collect much more. We'll just go with what we've got. It's not really cold, but generally most people, I've still not got my coat on, and I wouldn't say I was cold at all. It's very mild, but we're just going to sort of chill out now. We'll probably have a drink or whatever. I don't think we'll stay up much more than, say, another hour. It's now, well, it's 10:15 now, so probably another hour will probably turn in anyway, I should imagine. Yeah, okay, well, I'll bring you back in a bit. Hello and welcome back. We've just finished packing away the tent, like putting all the stuff in the tent ready to go to bed. Just brushed our teeth, and I think we're just going to turn in now. We've both got to get changed obviously, but we'll do that inside the tent. It's been a really good evening to be fair. Really enjoyed it. It's been nice to be out again. To be honest, it's been nice to be out in far warmer weather, because the last two camps have been pretty cold sitting outside. Really enjoyed them, but really cold. Feet in particular absolutely frozen. The twig stove seemed to work quite well. It looks like it's going to be a really good stove to cook on, so I think we're going to give that a go tomorrow. We've only got to boil some water up tomorrow. I've got some scrambled eggs. Kelly's going to have some toast with something I got for Christmas, which you're supposed to be able to do toast over either a fire or over a gas cooker or whatever, so we're going to give that a go. Like I say, we're going to turn in now, and we'll see you all in the morning. Night for now. Hello and good morning. Yeah, we're now up. We've just finished packing inside the tent. We didn't video that. There's not an awful lot of room inside the tent while you're doing it, and it's not exactly that interesting. Kelly's filling up the twig stove. We're going to try using that this morning to boil some water and have our breakfast. It looks a pretty nice morning. It's not particularly cold, as you can see. I'm just in a t-shirt, so yeah, it looks like it's going to be alright sort of morning. It's supposed to be reasonably warm today. Last night Kelly was actually warm, so that's something new, so she was quite happy about that. I wouldn't say I was particularly cold. I did put on my neck warmer at one point because I was getting a bit of a draft around my neck, but beyond that I was all right. I do think possibly where we set up might have slightly be on a very small slope, because I found that my sleeping mat had slipped right to the bottom, and the clothes that I'd sort of just thrown at the bottom were right at the bottom of the tent and causing me to bend my knees all night, which did make my knees ache a little bit. They're all right now, but they were aching a little bit when I first got up. But to be fair, it was a pretty good night. As I say, it wasn't cold really at all. So yeah, I had a good night last night around the twig burner, and both of us slept reasonably well as we generally do when we camp, so it's all good. I'll bring you back in a minute when I'll show you Kelly doing her breakfast basically. So see you in a bit.
Making you mix it around.
Right, you're going to catch me trying this, which is supposedly scrambled egg. It doesn't look like scrambled egg, and when you first open the packet after cooking it for a bit, it kind of did smell like it, but
It's going to go cold really quick, I would. Almost looks like it's got sweet corn in it.
it's not nice. Personally, adventure food scrambled egg, if you're buying it because you really like scrambled egg, don't, because it doesn't taste like scrambled egg. I don't really know. I actually think baby food would be better. So my recommendation is don't buy adventure food scrambled egg. It's not good.
Making you a lovely breakfast, dear.
Hello and welcome back. Toaster that Kelly bought me for Christmas. It's very slow going, but works really well. I mean, it does what it says on the tin. It did toast the bread, so that was pretty good. And for Kelly, that's excellent because she's obsessed with toast and generally has to have toast, what, every morning, would you say?
Yeah.
So that works well. So we'd recommend one of them. Do you remember where you got that from?
No.
No? I'd imagine possibly from eBay. But yeah, it's like a foldable toaster thing. If we can work it out, we will put a link above us here. But yeah, that worked really well. As for Chalkney Woods, it's definitely worth a visit. It's a nice little woods. It's of a reasonable size, should we say. It's not massive, but it's big enough. There's plenty of spots in here that you could easily stash yourself away and have a nice wild camp. I mean, literally this morning, it's now 9:30, and I'll be honest, we haven't seen one person, not one.
We weren't near any paths.
We're not that close to any paths, as I say. We have literally smacked ourselves right bang in the middle, so of any of the paths that surround us. But yeah, it's definitely a recommendation to come here if you're this end, like round by Essex. It's only what 15-20 minutes tops from Colchester, so it's not far at all, to be fair. But yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a beautiful day. We're going to just pack down the rest of the stuff we've got here. We've just got to wait for the twig stove to cool down a little bit before we can pack that away. But we'll bring you back once we've packed everything away and got it all in the bags and ready to get on our way. Speak to you in a bit. Welcome back. As you can see, we're all packed down now. As per usual, it's the leave no trace. All you can see is just over here is the flat grass where a tent lied, where we had our twig burning stove. As you can see, you wouldn't even know we've had a stove here. And again, it's just flat grass in and around where the chairs were and where we've walked. But beyond that, you'd never know we were here, and that's how it should always be. I think we're probably just going to walk straight back to the car. We might go a little bit of a different way again, because there's a couple of ways we can go back to the car. I'll bring you back when we get back to the car. Okay, speak to you in a bit. Just thought I'd show everyone this literally is like 1 minute walk from where we've just been camping. Looks like someone's been making themselves a pretty cool looking little den. So it's not finished yet, but they've done some really good work here. They've also got like a little gate as well over there that goes into it, like a little doorway. They've obviously been collecting their wood. There's also some over the back there to make it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It'd be interesting to see what this looks like when it's done. We plan on bringing life of a YouTuber in a madhouse here on a wild camp at some point, because his next one he wanted to do was a woodland camp. So I'm pretty sure he'll be quite interested in looking at this. Hi, just to let you know, this is the second car park. We were here briefly yesterday, so there might have been a little bit of footage, but it wasn't mentioned. This is the car park that our sat-nav originally tried to send us to, but we thought it was just a bridle way and you weren't really supposed to drive down there. But, you know, it's just down there, the sort of like main road. The main road is Ty Road. Yeah, and it comes here into you know, a proper car park. As far as I know, it's not gated at the other end, as far as I know. So you could park here if you wanted, if you were doing a wild camp, or you obviously easily park here if you were just going for a walk, but depends on where you want to park. I will show you when we get back at the end of the video where we're parked. Again, that is on Ty Road, just a couple of minutes up the road from here. There's probably enough room for about 5 or 6 cars where we are, so if it was a particularly busy day you might not get to park there, but This is a reasonable sized car park. Just thought I'd let you know anyway. Right, fine. Hello and welcome back. Well, that's the end of our wild camp and our walk here at Chalkney Woods. I have to say, really enjoyed it. It was nice to get in the woods again. We've both been saying for a while we want to get out in the woods, and as I said at the beginning of the video, we really wanted to get in this woods in particular. Kelly did. She'd seen it a while back and proper wanted to get in here. We'd also seen a video by Andy East Coast and First Class Adventures ages ago where they'd camped in here, and we both said we wouldn't mind giving it a go. So yeah, thanks to them for their videos, because that was originally what gave us the idea to come here. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'd like it if you could like and subscribe to the channel. That would be great, and any comments, as we always say, are always welcome. Well, anyway, we'll see you all in the next adventure. Bye bye for now.